Recent violence in Wisconsin and across the nation has been tied to mental illness. But what's being done to help the families behind those stories? Courtney has more on that.
Mike, a son suffering from mental illness, a local family pushed to the edge. It's a scenario all too common, but there is some hope on the horizon.
We want to give you hope.
Talking, it's one of the only things that brings comfort to Bob and Dee.
You need to release all that you're holding in.
Their son, who they asked us not to name, was a high school athlete.
He didn't get into, the typical kinds of trouble a teenager would.
He graduated from UWM and got a good job. But a few years later, everything changed.
I was worried all the time. I knew that he was like a powder keg.
Their son suffers from severe depression, which sometimes leads to excessive drinking and at times violent behavior toward his family.
Tragedy. It's tragedy at the biggest level. It really is.
Bob and Dee try to get him help, but it's hard since their son is an adult and can refuse treatment.
But when you can, as an advocate who love this individual and help that individual for their own well-being, and every time you try to do something for them, you hit a roadblock.
One place that has brought comfort to Bob and Dee is Milwaukee's NAMI chapter. The organization offers a family-to-family class where family members dealing with mental illness can talk it out with each other.
You need to know, oh, is this normal? Is that normal? Has anybody experienced that?
Shel Gross is with the advocacy group Mental Health America. He admits it can be hard for families to find help.
Personally, I think the money has, the funding has driven that.
State Rep Sandy Pash is a psychiatric nurse by trade. She says the laws need to catch up with the times.
Our law has not changed since the 1970s, maybe a few tweaks here and there, but yet it is more difficult now to get inpatient treatment than it was in the 1970s and the 1980s.
Gross is hopeful, though, thanks to recent legislation, which includes more funding for community outreach programs.
I'm pleased that this state has responded by recognizing what we need to do is expand the treatment capacity, address the stigma.
As for Bob and Dee, they hope something or someone can eventually get through to their son.
It would have to be something that would be short of a miracle.
If you have a family member suffering from mental illness, you can still sign up for NAMI's family-to-family class, and there is a link on our website.